Myles Garrett wasn't just born into athleticism, he was born into excellence. Arriving on December 29, 1995, in Arlington, Texas, Garrett entered a world where talent was the family's common thread. His mother, Audrey, once soared as a collegiate track athlete at Hampton University, and his brother Sean played in the NBA. But Myles? He was never just following a path. He was laying his own, brick by brick, in a city where high school football is religion and ambition is forged under stadium lights. Even from an early age, Garrett broke the mold. He had the brawn to dominate playground games, sure, but it was the brain beneath the helmet that separated him. He loved comic books and identified with characters who wrestled with inner strength and outer responsibilities, especially the Hulk. It's an almost mythic origin story, the soft-spoken, deeply thoughtful boy who would grow into one of the NFL's most feared pass rushers. Between sketching dinosaur bones and composing poetry, Garrett crafted a worldview shaped by curiosity, compassion, and quiet fire. At Martin High School, Garrett's potential erupted. Standing out with his freakish athleticism and relentless motor, he quickly established himself as one of the premier defensive players in the country. His senior year was a blur of quarterback sacks and national buzz. Colleges came calling from all corners, but he stayed rooted in Texas, enrolling at Texas A&M and making a decision that would set the stage for his dominance. From the moment he arrived in College Station, Garrett was a disruptor. He didn't just play defensive end, he owned it. As a freshman, he broke the SEC record for sacks by a first-year player, and over 3 seasons, he terrorized opposing offenses with 31 career sacks. His dominance wasn't raw, it was calculated. Garrett studied the game like a chess master, refining his hand placement, analyzing opponent tendencies, and blending brute force with strategic finesse. But off the field, he remained true to his Renaissance spirit, penning poetry, reading classical literature, and embracing the introspective sides that often go unseen in athletes of his caliber. The 2017 NFL Draft represented a turning point for Garrett and for a Cleveland Browns franchise desperate for hope. With the number 1 overall pick, the Browns chose him, a decision both expected and monumental. Though an ankle injury delayed his debut, Garrett made an instant impact, registering 2 sacks in his first NFL game. Cleveland still stumbled through a winless campaign, but Garrett's emergence was a bright spot. He wasn't just a building block, he was the foundation. Each passing season saw Garrett refine his craft. By 2018, he had earned his first Pro Bowl nod. By 2020, he was routinely in conversations for Defensive Player of the Year. His stats, consistently in double-digit sacks, numerous forced fumbles, and countless pressures, spoke volumes. But it was his leadership, his intensity at practice, and his voice in the locker room that truly shifted Cleveland's culture. He wasn't just playing the game, he was redefining what it meant to anchor a defense. In 2019, however, Garrett faced a defining moment. During a heated game against Pittsburgh, he was ejected for swinging a helmet at Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph. The fallout was swift and severe, a season-ending suspension and a storm of criticism. But instead of spiraling, Garrett regrouped. He owned the moment, addressed it head-on, and used it as fuel for growth. That offseason, he trained harder, listened more, and returned a more mature, grounded version of himself. It became a lesson in accountability and redemption. Garrett's life off the field is just as textured as his game tape. He's a published poet, an advocate for mental health, and an active voice in social justice efforts. His love for dinosaurs isn't a gimmick, it's genuine. He's even donated fossils to museums. Through his Myles Garrett Foundation, he supports educational and athletic opportunities for underserved communities, blending philanthropy with purpose. Interviews with him often surprise people. He's as comfortable discussing the works of Langston Hughes as he is breaking down defensive schemes. In terms of lifestyle, Garrett lives with intention. He owns luxury cars, sure, a custom Aston Martin, a restored Camaro, but he's just as happy riding his bike through Cleveland or spending hours sketching. His home isn't just a trophy case, it's a sanctuary filled with books, art, and pieces of history. Financially, Garrett is thriving. With a net worth exceeding $30 million in 2025, thanks to lucrative contracts, endorsement deals with Nike and Bose, and smart investments, he remains focused not on wealth accumulation, but legacy building. His on-field arsenal is the stuff of nightmares for offensive linemen. He blends speed and raw power with elite technique, able to beat blocks with a burst or a bull rush. Few players can alter a game's outcome with a single play the way Garrett can. He reads offenses like a seasoned veteran, diagnosing plays pre-snap and adjusting mid-move. Coaches rave about his IQ, and teammates call him the backbone of the defense. He's more than a player. He's a weapon. By the end of the 2024 NFL season, Myles Garrett had cemented himself as one of football's premier defensive forces. He wasn't just registering sacks and pressures. He was redefining what elite defensive play looked like. Garrett topped league leaderboards in sacks, quarterback hits, and pass rush efficiency, all while serving as the cornerstone of a resurgent Cleveland Browns defense. Talk of Hall of Fame potential grew louder, but Garrett stayed centered. His focus wasn't on recognition. It was on relentless improvement, on pushing his limits with each practice, each snap, each rep. Yet Garrett's value goes far beyond numbers. He has reshaped the image and culture of the Browns, breathing belief into a fan base long starved for success. In a league where player turnover is constant and leadership rare, Garrett has become Cleveland's constant, a presence both imposing and inspirational. He leads with his play and his voice, mentoring younger teammates and setting a tone of accountability and excellence. When he speaks, the locker room listens. When he plays, the stadium roars. In today's NFL, where every week brings a new narrative and explosive offenses dominate headlines, Garrett offers something rare: consistency at an elite level. He marries intelligence with instinct, strength with speed. His ability to read plays before they unfold and adjust in real time makes him a nightmare for offensive coordinators. And while the league shifts around him, new stars rising, schemes evolving, Garrett remains a steady force, anchoring the Browns with both muscle and mindfulness. From his days as a high school standout in Arlington to becoming the face of a franchise, Garrett's trajectory has been nothing short of remarkable. He's proven that greatness doesn't always come with loud declarations. Sometimes, it arrives in the form of a player who lets his work do the talking, who speaks through impact, consistency, and integrity. Every sack, every community outreach event, every carefully crafted poem adds a new layer to the legacy he's building. So as Garrett continues to write his story, both literally and figuratively, it's clear that his journey is far from over. He's still evolving, still striving, still pushing boundaries. And for fans, teammates, and future athletes looking up to him, it's a privilege to watch it unfold. That wraps up our closer look at the evolving journey of Myles Garrett. If you found his story inspiring, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives from the world of sports. Until next time.